Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Virgos who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Virgos. So if you don't know where any of those placements are, apart from your Sun of course, then there is going to be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check out. And I would especially say to you, check out your Venus at the moment, because this is a follow-on from the readings that I have done previously for you. First one being the you and question mark reading, then I went a little deeper with the actual Venus retrograde reading, and now I'm doing a Venus direct reading because Venus has just recently turned direct. So you may also want to check out the actual point in the zodiac of your natal chart between 0, 5 and 21 degrees, because that's where Venus is now going back across for the third and last time. So that is an important and very active spot at this moment in time. So you may want to go and check that out so you can understand a bit more about how Venus is affecting yourselves at this time, Virgo. So what I've done, as I've done with all my previous readings, if you've watched them, I have separated all of my cup suit from the Good Tarot deck today. So this is the overall card that came out for you today, Virgo, but it did come out in reverse. So I'm going to turn it upside down and tell you what it means to me when it's in reverse. And what I see here, because I often see this pearl here being like a crystal ball. So I kind of get the feeling that there is a situation here with the Four of Water. It usually implies something like a disappointment, like something has happened that has kind of left an emptiness, a kind of feeling of things not being how you would like them to be. And I feel that as she's offering, it's like this ball here is you. It's your kind of awareness of what's going on. But almost like you don't want to look at it. You don't want to see it. You don't want to acknowledge it. You don't want to accept it. You don't want to feel what you're feeling. You're just trying to ignore it, I feel. Because you don't want to look into that crystal ball, so to speak, and see what the future holds for you here, Virgo, is what I'm seeing. And in the background, if you look in the background, it's all very murky. There's kind of cloudiness, this murkiness. It's like things aren't clear, things aren't easy to see. You can't see where your future path is anymore. Pearl itself is kind of representation of something that starts out as a grain of sand. It's something that kind of irritates the oyster, so the oyster coats it. So it's kind of also resembles for me situations that kind of just get glossed over or covered up, or just kind of you don't really, or you haven't really what's the word I'm getting here? You haven't really explored the depths of it, maybe, of your feelings for this, Virgo. Or the irritation, whatever it is that's there, that has been the kind of irritating point, the original kind of breakdown of the relationship, shall we say. It's kind of just been passed over, glossed over, just kind of, let's not look at it, let's not acknowledge it. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling with this card today. So let's see what else we have for you, Virgo. I'm going to use 2 decks of cards here. For yourself, I'm using the Gilded Tarot, and I will be using the Mythic Tarot for the person that you have a energetic and emotional connection with, emotional, physical, spiritual connection with. A person that could also be a cross-watcher out there watching this reading as well. So cross-watchers, if you have a relationship with a Virgo, you're interested in having a relationship with a Virgo, or you would, or you have had a relationship with a Virgo, then welcome to my channel, welcome to my reading. Just be aware that the cards can be swapped over. So although I'm saying that these are for Virgo, these may also tell your story more than they tell theirs, and vice versa. So just be aware of that, Virgo, as well. So let's see what's going to come out here for Virgo for this Venus direct reading. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp, Virgo. Reading for Virgo. With the Four of Water as well, there can also be a sense of emptiness, sense of... And that's kind of what I'm getting with this pearl when I was saying about glossing things over. It's almost like going out and trying to fill a hole, trying to fill something that feels empty, like a void somehow. Like maybe even going out and over shopping, or kind of trying to do something that's going to distract in many ways. Distract is what I'm kind of feeling. Okay, I'm not going to take all of those. I will take the first two here. And we have the Star and the Lovers at the very heart of your reading. So I'm going to read this as the heart, this being the heart of your reading here. The Star card. So the Star card is a symbol of hope, and it kind of says to me that there is a deeper connection here. There is something deeper. If you see, she's kneeling in these waters here, so she's kind of kneeling within the water of life as well, which could also represent this card here, the waters being the kind of inner, emotional, murky world of our emotions. And I feel for you at the moment, Virgo, it is quite murky. It talks as well about a kind of connection on a higher level as well. The star, it's like the connection with like a sense of feeling like your lucky star here, that there's something that happened has brought in this energy of this is my lucky star. And it's kind of reflected here as well in this headband that she's wearing there. There's a kind of reflection there of this star. But she's also pouring water from the water of life here as well. So it's kind of, I feel as though it's kind of trying to kind of reconnect or keep feeding this relationship. There's still a sense of hope here. There's still a sense of it can be brought back together. It can be reconnected. Also a sense of things having to happen in divine timing here as well, with this kind of pendulum clock in the background. That everything has its right time. When the stars connect, so to speak. And she's also naked as well, which is interesting, because it's like there's no, it's kind of saying that there was no, there's nothing being hidden here. Although I do feel that this card, this overall energy here about something that is being ignored, maybe not hidden so much as more kind of ignored, I feel, rather than hidden. I don't think it's hidden because it's kind of, it's there, it's right in front of you, but you, as of yet, you haven't actually taken the time in some ways. And this could also reflect that energy there as well, kind of this pearl energy that I'm seeing here as well, this larger pearl that she's holding in her hand there, and kind of holding it out. So maybe there's also a sense of somebody wanting to work on this, somebody wanting to kind of look into it on a deeper level as well. But there is, I feel, quite a lot of sadness around this, so maybe somebody here isn't wanting to go there because there is feelings of quite a lot of sadness and sorrow around this at this time. But she does have these two jugs, like I was saying. So there is two, which kind of, for me, represent two different people being connected through that element of water, which is the emotions, of course. And you have over the top of it, as your challenge here, the Lovers. And again, that star, that same star. And so maybe it's star-crossed lovers. Maybe there's something about that in this particular reading. But there's also within this card a kind of a sense of real trust here. And the way he's kind of holding her up and she's just kind of allowing him, and she's just kind of like, again, I get the same kind of feeling with this card here. It's just like nothing is being hidden. And particularly as this light is coming down from this sun above as well, or this planet which has the star. And all these stars are falling down here. So I do feel as though there is this deeper connection here. And it's like, you know this, Virgo. You know that there's a deeper connection here. And there's two dolphins kind of playing in the background here as well, which again represent for me these two jugs of life, like water. And the dolphins are representative of fun as well, and friendliness, and kind of joy, and a sense of, for me, they kind of represent like they're very pod animals. They're very kind of connected animals. They stick together in their pod like family, very closely connected. So there is this kind of strong feeling that this is a very deeply connected energy here. But there is something that is not being looked at. There's something that's not being dealt with. There's something that's not being recognised, acknowledged. There is a sadness, there's a definite sadness, an overall energy of something that needs to be fixed, perhaps, here. There's quite a gentleness with this Lovers card as well, quite a softness. If you look at the colour in the water as well, it's all very kind of pastel pinks and reds and oranges. And the way that he's kind of holding her up is very soft in its way as well, although he's very masculine looking, and she's very typically, I mean, it's very typical masculine, feminine energy type of card here. The kind of strength, the support, maybe, that one person has given the other person as well. And maybe that's what you're kind of missing. Maybe that's what you're aware of. Whichever side you're on, the masculine or the feminine side. I do feel that this is a very strong connection. But there is this kind of sense of star-crossed lovers as well. That something has happened which has changed the dynamic here. Sorry about that. We have the Six of Pentacles. So what's in your head here, Virgo, is that you want balance, you want equality, you want both give and take, you want things. If you look here, the scales are being balanced here, while all these other coins are kind of falling down into the waiting hands here. So they may also feel as though one person is receiving more or giving more. Six of Pentacles for me is always about this energy of receiving and giving. It kind of talks about how often a person who is able to receive finds it harder to give, and somebody who gives finds it really hard to receive, and that can in itself upset the balance. Because if you try to give to somebody who doesn't want to receive, or if you're not willing to receive from somebody who wants to give, then you haven't got that equal give and take. You haven't got that equilibrium, that balance within a relationship, which could have something to do with money itself as well. This could be a financial issue. It could also be that one person might have put more time and energy and kind of support into the relationship. Like one person may have felt that they were doing more of a heavy lifting, so to speak. And I don't mean that figuratively, I mean that more metaphorically, the heavy lifting side of things. But this is the covering card. This one here, the Lovers, is the challenge here. So it's kind of saying to me that your challenge is to kind of get through and to work through it, to be brave enough in many ways to dive into whatever it was that started the problems here. Because it does feel like there hasn't been this equality here, Virgo. At least that's, I feel, what you're feeling. Maybe you cross-watchers as well, or for your person that you're emotionally connected to, Virgo, as well. An imbalance within this relationship, but there is still a very strong connection. And the energy that you've been working with, but what's moving away, is the King of Wands. Very fiery, very dynamic, very creative, very entrepreneurial. It could have something to do with this energy here. There could have been also business related issues with this energy. Somebody may have been more of a spender as well than the other person. Somebody may not have had as much value around money as the other person. One person may have put a lot more value on money than the other person. A lot of orange, a lot of yellow that I'm seeing in this card, which kind of relates to the solar plexus and the sacral chakra energy as well. Creativity. Could also be fear related as well. But it's upright, so I feel there's a lot of sexual energy here, I feel, with this king. So either Virgo, this is your energy, this fiery, creative, sexually attractive, very kind of dynamic energy, magnetic energy, sort of person who draws attention to them without even trying. They'll walk into a room and people will just kind of notice them immediately. It's very Leo energy, it's very Aries and Sagittarius energy. So there may also be elements of somebody here not necessarily wanting to, or not feeling ready to maybe take that extra step, because the King of Wands does like his freedom. Although he's a maturer energy, and because he's upright, there's a creative balance here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not wanting to be able to get up off his throne and just kind of walk away. It's elevated as well. The throne itself is elevated. So maybe, which is interesting because this is elevation energy as well. I'm just kind of seeing this as well as being elevated. So maybe somebody did kind of elevate somebody above and it caused an imbalance here. Sense of yeah, I just get this sense that somebody wasn't ready to settle down. They weren't ready to take on all the responsibility as well, because the King of Wands can find it difficult to take on that responsibility. He likes his freedom. He likes to be able to just, if you think of fire, if you think of how fire just spreads, it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't like to be contained, although it needs to be contained, because fire can be dangerous when it's not contained. So there may also be a sense here of somebody who's kind of overstepped the mark as well. And it's come out underneath in the subconscious level, which is interesting. The Three of Pentacles. So you've got this 6 in the head and this 3 in the subconscious, of more of what you're not so aware of. And the 3 talks of kind of working with other people, even though he is on his own here in this card. It talks about teamwork, putting things together, creating more than. So I do feel that this is about an imbalance of something to do with money issues here, something to do with value, something to do with somebody. And I feel it could have a lot to do with somebody not being as, like somebody may have been a lot more carefree here as well. A lot more carefree, a lot more kind of, that like their approach to life was a lot more carefree, a lot more, you know, when it happens I'll deal with it. If it doesn't happen, then why worry about it? Why do I have to stress about it? Whereas somebody else may have been very much more focused on on the financial side of things and the running of things, and the sense of 3 becoming 6 as well. There's something about that as well. I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's a sense of like 3 becoming 6. So it's kind of doubling this energy here. Which could be the teamwork as well. This kind of coming together, the give and the take, the receiving and giving energy. You know, when 2 people come together, there should be kind of this equality. But that may not have necessarily been how it was, but it is what you were looking for, Virgo, I feel. I also feel that you may well have been the one that was driving the kind of dynamic, the passion here. You were the kind of adventurer, the one that would kind of just be more adventurous yourself, just kind of be more open to ideas, to new ways of looking at the world. I kind of get the feeling that this person, which is interesting because this isn't your energy, Virgo, but I'm kind of feeling that you may well have fiery energy somewhere in your chart, or that's what you were being at that time. I mean, your energy is the earth energy of the Pentacles. So it could be that you've been dealing with a fire sign who has been that way. They've been very kind of easy-ozy, easy come, easy go type of energy. Not very grounded, which might have upset your balance as well, and your sense of needing to have some stability. Being an earth sign, you do like that stability. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles, interestingly. It's just turned over. I didn't realise I'm shuffling the cards the wrong way. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. I am going to say this is your energy, definitely. It's very earthy energy. It's very much about kind of being on your own. And it's very interesting because if you put this 6 and this 3 together, you do get this 9. Which is very interesting. So there's a feeling here of you being 9 of Pentacles is almost completion. It's almost being at the end of something. It's like almost reaching the goal, the success, but it's in reverse. So there's a feeling as well of like you're very focused on how far you think you still have to go, rather than being aware of what you have achieved here with this 6 and this 3 as well. With this energy here, this is what you've been working on achieving. And so you have achieved it, but you've achieved it on your own. It's an achievement by yourself, and you're kind of very aware of that. And I think it relates very much to this here as well. It's an achievement, but you don't want to look at kind of how you've got here. You don't want to look at the sadness or the sorrows or the I just keep getting the irritations, the annoyances, the kind of things that you've had to deal with, the upsets, the things that have kind of in some ways spoilt the relationship, if you like. But there are butterflies in this card as well. There's also a bird of prey as well, and it's quite opulent. There's quite an opulence about this card, and the dress that she's wearing and her surroundings are very opulent. But I feel you're very focused at this time on your own energy here, Virgo. And there is transformation coming. There is something that's going to change your view of things. And what I'm kind of feeling, because it's upside down, it is more about you, like I was saying, you still aren't aware of how far you have come. And her focus is very much on this bird of prey, which is kind of hooded, which again, I kind of get this feeling of, like I was saying, it's not kind of things that are being, not hidden. It's not hidden so much as kind of yet revealed, because you're yet to see things clearly. So let's see what this other person has going for them, Virgo. What's happening for the person that Virgo has an energetic and emotional attachment to here? What is the energy that Virgo has an emotional attachment to here? Emotional, energetic, spiritual, physical, mental connection with. What is the energy, please, for Virgo? So the first card they have come out is the Page of Swords. So they may be feeling at this time that they want to communicate something to you. Page of Swords, young energy, an energy that hasn't matured. So the communication or the conversations that this person is going to have could be quite kind of well, immature really, but immature in the sense of like they're not maliciously out to hurt or harm, or it's more this kind of sense of urgency or curiosity, but I kind of get a feeling of urgency, like they want to know what's happened. They want to know what's happened, and maybe you're not open to, like I was saying, you're not open to looking at this yet. So they may try to communicate with you. That communication may come in kind of short bursts. It could be texts, emails, if you're in the same environment, then it could just be like short conversations about things that kind of stir things up as well. It could stir you up emotionally. And I'm not taking all of those. I saw that one, that's the one I'm going to take. Over the top, they have the King of Cups. So that's what I feel about this kind. This is their challenge here as well. Her challenge is to kind of try and be a little bit more subtle. A little bit more subtle. I don't think they're feeling very subtle. If you see this crab at the bottom down here, the crab is about kind of tentatively testing the water to see how things are. The crab always kind of moves sideways, it's never direct, it's never kind of full on. So it tests the water and it comes back out. The King of Cups is all about emotion. He's all about sensitivity, understanding other people's emotional sensitivity as well. And so this Page of Swords at this time, the way that this person is behaving, Virgo, you may feel as though they're lacking in this sensitivity. They're being very, I wouldn't say full on as such, but they're kind of, you feel as though it's all about their own needs rather than yours. Because this is their challenge. Their challenge is to be more sensitive. Their challenge is to be more thoughtful, considerate of other people's feelings here. But they're in this energy of the Page of Swords. They just want to know. They just want answers. They want answers. And so you may find them abrupt, abrasive, like I was saying, immature, childish, difficult to be around if you're in the same environment. So what's going on in their head? What's going on in the person that Virgo has this connection with energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritual connection with? And I do feel it is a spiritual connection that's here as well, specifically because the star that came out earlier as well. And I feel that you kind of know this, Virgo, that there is this deeper connection. And what's in their head and what they're aware of, they feel as though you are moving away. Or they're moving away even. Again, Page of Wands. Fiery. It kind of goes along with this energy here. This kind of fiery, very kind of it also goes with this energy here, this Page of Swords. I'm kind of picking up this thinking energy. Again, it's kind of very fast, rapid movement. Reaction before thinking. So they may also be kind of, not playing games as such, but kind of this sense of them kind of like not getting their own way, so they kind of disappear or strop off or kind of react, possibly even blow up a bit as well with this Page of Swords energy here. I'm kind of getting this fire and this air when it's put together. It's kind of these kind of eruptions, and so they behave in this way of almost like temper tantrum, like temper tantrums. This is kind of what you're aware of. And it's what they're aware of as well. But they don't want to recognize it. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see their immaturity here. Which could have a lot to do with this energy here as well. This kind of not wanting to recognize. There's definitely, I feel, definite not wanting to look into things on a deeper level. So you could be dealing with a younger person here. You could have been in a relationship with a younger person, or you could be in a relationship with somebody who kind of reacts as a younger person because their emotions are still kind of stuck in a younger person's place as well. Like that their emotions haven't necessarily matured. So they respond in a very kind of childish and immature fashion. Virgo. Now that is interesting. earlier on, I don't know if you saw, but I turned the deck of cards over after I'd finished your reading here. I put them down flat and then I thought, no, turn them over. And I turned them over and we got an upside down 7 of Wands, and I've just turned this one over. Oh, this has just come out for this person, and they also have the 7 of Wands come out here. So the double 7 of Wands is kind of saying to me that there has been a lot of battles. And this, I would say, is kind of mind games between the two of you. A lot of competition, a lot of trying to better each other. One trying to outdo the other all the time. And this could also be part of why the relationship has kind of got to the point that it's got to. Because it became a battlefield rather than a relationship. It was just this constant onslaught of one thing after another, of having to kind of, each of you, this is for each of you, having to kind of, what's the word I'm getting here, having to kind of justify who you were, what you believed in, your opinions, why you did something, why you didn't do something, how you did it, why you did it, all that kind of energy here is what I'm picking up on. For yours, Leo, this is in reverse. So I'm going to say that this person often kind of got the better, or you gave in a lot easier. You gave in because you didn't want to keep being on that battlefield. And it has come out with this king here as well. This kind of elevated energy that I was talking about here. So somebody may well have kind of elevated themselves above the other in this relationship as well. And they did it by using kind of maybe belittling the other person as well in some way, or making them feel less, which could also have something to do with this energy here. That there wasn't this equality, this equal give and take, and also this immaturity. A lot of fire here. So I do feel you could well have been dealing with somebody who has a very fiery energy, but also I feel as though you're dealing with somebody who has a very fiery, immature energy. So they do react or act before they go through the kind of long-term thinking process of what's going to happen at the end of this. If I do this now, what is the result going to be from this action? That they didn't kind of have that ability, that mental ability. With the Page of Swords here as well. Again, this kind of immature attitude, and it kind of left you feeling like you know that they didn't have any regard for your feelings and your emotions in this. So let's see what's in the subconscious realm for this person. How are they feeling about Leo? Where's all this coming from for them? For the person that, sorry, Virgo, is all this fire energy. You may well be dealing with a Leo. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, or somebody who's got a very strong placement of fire signs in their astrology. Could be rising, could be moon. Always worth checking out. The free description, or the free link is in the description box down below, should I say. So where was this other person coming from? The person that Virgo has a strong, emotional, energetic And don't forget, we have just been through a Venus retrograde as well in Gemini. So it could well have been stirring up a lot of feelings or a lot of insecurities as well for this person. Because Venus is all about relationships in the sense of our values and how we value our relationships, why we value them the way we do. And I also think in Gemini, because Gemini is kind of teenage, early energy, kind of energy of from school age, early school age up until leaving school years, Gemini energy. And it's kind of when we first hit that kind of minefield of relationships, you know, and our early experiences can make all the difference. And so I feel that this Venus retrograde could have had a big part to do with that for everybody. I think that we've kind of been going back over and what's been kind of coming up for us, and the relationships that we've been kind of dealing with could well have had something to do with how we felt, or the experiences, as I was saying, that we went through during those years kind of coming back to us. So they have the Page of Pentacles down below. So again, another page, again, more young, immature kind of energy. But in this card, I'm kind of getting the sense that Virgo, this is how they view you. They view you as somebody who has the ability to kind of make things more nourishing in their life. Like you bring this kind of nourishing element. Because if you look here, there's all these little seeds that he's planting. He's got this pentacle here in his hand and he's clutching it very close to his chest, so it's kind of very dear to him. So this pentacle could even represent yourself here, Virgo. Also, that you could have taught this person quite a lot as well. But they may not have even recognised yet how much they've learnt and how much they are growing from the relationship that they have had or are having with you. Or that they want this relationship with you because they see you as somebody who can bring this like fertile landscape, if you like, into their life. Like you can grow together, you can become old together. They see you as having potential, a lot of potential here. A lot of potential to make things, and it's over the top of the Three of Pentacles here as well. Of this kind of teamwork, bringing things together. So I feel as though they see you as somebody who's very good for them, very healthy for them. Like you may have I feel as though you've kind of helped them understand parts of themselves which they're not yet recognising, and maybe that's also what this is about here as well. I was saying earlier, this kind of non-recognition of something. But there has been growth. And they have the Queen of Cups and the Hangman here in their future. What's coming in when you've got this card here. of your self-worth, and you're kind of looking at your self-worth here as well. I feel on some level you're feeling as though you have been through this battlefield. It has been a battle, and you are kind of coming out of it saying, you know, what did I get from that? What did I get from that? What did I receive, if you like, from that? And that's also possibly where your head's at this time as well. What did I receive from this? How much did I give or put into this, and how much did I get back? And it feels as though you're feeling as though you haven't really had that equality. Things were very imbalanced. But we have the King and we have the Queen of Cups here. And this is what I kind of feel about this person's growth. That they are learning something about themselves. Queen of Cups is a mirror. She's a cipher. She kind of has the ability to be... They're great actors and actresses. They kind of take on other people's roles, or they take on the projection of what other people see or want to see. But I feel with this card that it's about growth somehow again. It's about her kind of sitting in her emotions, and she's staring into this cup here, and I feel as though this is her reflecting on what she hasn't wanted to look at here. With this pearl here. That this pearl represents this cup that she's holding in her hand, and whereas here it's being held out, and it's possible that it's being held out in a form of like you know, this is your fault type of thing. Look at what you've done. Look at this energy from this person with this Four of Water. Look at how sad you've made me. Look at what you've destroyed, maybe. But here, they're kind of reflecting on this now. They're taking the time because the Hangman is here as well. So they're having to take the time. It's like they don't have an option here. They're having to let go of something here. It's kind of having to surrender to their own part in this and their emotional I kind of feel it's their emotional insensitivity here as well. Whereas here they're not wanting to look in this cup, they're still kind of holding it away from them. But in this one they're kind of like, she is holding it close to her. She is looking, beginning to look into it. And to do so she has to kind of let go. There's a letting go energy here. Also seeing things from a higher perspective as well. It's kind of the only way that this person is going to learn, grow, mature. In a way, they're very similar energies as well, the Queen of Cups, because she has to, in some ways, kind of let go of her own identity as well here. Who she thinks she is not necessarily who she actually is. And it's kind of having to take a deeper look, I feel, at herself. But it's upright, they're both upright, so they're both very positive energies. But it's kind of time out energy. It's kind of time out. It's kind of saying, you know, this is a time of just allowing yourself to kind of flow, to go with the flow as well, because it's a very kind of kind of watery energy here, very kind of going with that flow, of not trying to make something happen before the time's right, which could also be this star energy here as well, which I was seeing earlier with this pendulum in the background, the kind of bigger divine picture. So that could well be both for both of you as well, that both of you are having to kind of take this time out away from each other. So let's see what the Moon Wisdom cards have to say for you here, Virgo. The Wisdom of the Moon. Wisdom of the Moon for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Virgo. And by the way, Cusp Virgos, you're either going to be at the 0 degree mark of Leo, just moving into Virgo, or you're going to be at the 29 mark, kind of 57, 58, 59 minutes of Virgo moving into Libra. And if that's the case, then you may want to check out your videos previous to your sun sign and after your sun sign. And also you may want to check out your rising sign, your moon sign, and your definitely your Venus sign, as I was saying earlier. Find out where your Venus is and have a look at what's going on there, and possibly have a look at the reading for Venus as well, because your message could well be there, or it may make more sense. It may add an extra dimension for your reading. So let's see Moonology. Moon Wisdom cards. What would you like to say to Virgo at this time? Thank you. It wants to say, show the world the real you, which is interesting as well, because it started off with the same energy here, with the pouring of the water. This is, the star is the kind of Aquarius energy. This is the full moon in Aquarius, the water of life. Which can also be the kind of psychic realm as well. So maybe if you're holding back on that side of yourself as well, Virgo, if you do have these kind of psychic awareness that you're not wanting to dive into and to kind of look at on a deeper level, that could also have something to do with this here as well. Showing the world who you really are, rather than holding back. And they're both very purple orientated as well, which is quite interesting, because the purple relates to the kind of crown chakra energy as well. And the blue here, the kind of midnight blue, would relate to the third eye, the chakra of the third eye, which could also be this kind of star opening here as well. Possibly also why she's got this star here as well, because it's kind of saying that on a deeper level you already know things. It's kind of what I'm feeling there. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you from the Angels of Light cards, and 3 cards from the Angel Blessings Oracle cards. And I will put them together. I'm going to pull 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, and 1 from the middle. Okay, so top, bottom, and middle. Interesting. Okay, don't you just hate it when tarot readers go interesting before they even show you what it is? It's really bugging. Sorry, I apologise for that. I know. I do it all the time. And other readers do it as well. And when I watch them, I think, don't do that. So I do know how it feels. One from the top, one from the bottom, and one from the middle. Angel Blessings Oracle cards for Virgo. What do the angels want to say? Okay, we'll take that one. You can go in the middle. One from top and one from the bottom. So we start out with laughter, and it says laughter is a wonderful healer. It shakes out fear and leaves you feeling happier, clearer and more relaxed. Remember that angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So make light of difficulties and see the funny side of situations. Laugh at yourself and with others. When you relax and laugh, your angels drop in new suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight. Laughter is the sunshine which dissolves the darkness, so be merry, joyous and fun-filled. And you have with this intuition, or heightened intuition guides you, is what it says. So the affirmation for laughter is I see the humour in everything. And then you have this card here, which is intuition, which is interesting because that's kind of what I was picking up with this like Four of Water and this Aquarius energy, this psychic kind of energy, intuition, this knowing. It's like, and again, it's purple. Purple energy, crown chakra, higher vibration. And where it says here as well, laugh, where is it? It says relax. When you relax and laugh, your angels drop in new suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight. So I kind of feel that that's what they're saying to you, is that what you're intuitively getting, you should trust it. Trust it. And go deeper into it as well. Don't kind of fear it. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. It's there for a reason. And then we have kindness, which is the card that I thought was interesting because for me it kind of goes with this King of Cups here and what I was saying earlier about this kind of need to be more sensitive, whoever this other person is. And it says, in order to be kind, you must open your heart to the gentle qualities of caring and compassion. Completely this energy here. Be kind to yourself, have reasonable, it's also the Queen of Cups energy as well. She also has this very compassionate, loving side of her. And she also needs to be in a relationship as well, the Queen of Cups. She does not do well on her own. Male or female energy, it makes no difference. If that's your energy, then she does not like being on her own. Again, it's water energy of Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio. So I will carry on with this kindness card. It says, be kind to yourself, have reasonable expectations and give yourself due praise. It could also be this energy here, this self-worth energy, is kind of looking at how far you've come rather than looking at how far you still think you have to go, and to realise that you are the one who's got yourself where you are as well. In order to nurture the gentle quality of kindness, cherish yourself. When you do something for yourself, you automatically extend that same energy to others. Kindness melts barriers of ice around people and re-empowers those who are afraid. So reach out to the lonely, draw out the shy, include those who feel isolated and comfort the sad. Your rewards will be a sense of inner peace, warmth and love. And your affirmation here is, I am kind to myself and others. And it's come out with embrace. And it says angels offer a healing embrace. So that's really nice. And it's with the green angel here, which is all about the heart chakra. It's all about opening up that heart chakra, the heart energy. Also nature as well. Nature helps to open up our heart chakras because nature has a lot of greenery in it. This energy here. Yeah, kindness melts barriers of ice around people and re-empowers those who are afraid. So reach out to the lonely. It's working with your heart chakra energy, I feel. It's King of Cups energy here. And lastly, we have Archangel Jophael. And it says, Archangel Jophael works on the golden ray, drawing wisdom from source. Ask him to illuminate you and help you to connect with your own deep knowing. That's what I was talking about earlier, this deeper knowing that you have, but you don't necessarily want to go there and look and see it. He will also help you to learn and absorb information. So if you are studying or involved in any form of education, divine assistance is available to you now. Call on Archangel Jophael for direction and strength. He will help you to remove negativity and become open-minded, clear and wise. The angels remind you it is time for you to wear the golden cloak of wisdom. So visualize yourself surrounded in gold light and be wise. And the affirmation is, I connect with my inner wisdom. And it's come out with the card of personal power. And it says, angels bless you with personal power. Again, it has elements of the crown chakra energy here. Opening up to higher energy, higher wisdom through the crown chakra. And bringing in that gold energy maybe through that crown chakra being opened. There's also elements of pink, so again it could also be working through the heart chakra here. So those are your readings, or your reading for today, Virgo. Readings, also Virgo cross watchers as well. I hope that they have been some help to you here. Please, if you have liked them, could you thumbs them up for me, because it helps me to get them out onto the bigger YouTube world stage where they can get picked up by the algorithms and kind of more people can see them, more people can come back to my channel and hopefully subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you very, very, very much. I really do appreciate it. It's really helping me to grow my channel. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please could you do so, because that's really what I'm trying to do at the moment, is to grow my channel, get my messages out there as well. And tap the bell before I forget, so that you can get my future videos as and when I put them out. I do the full moon videos, new moon videos. I also do astrological changes as well, when something shifts from one sign to another, or planets go retrograde, usually the bigger planets rather than the kind of more personal planets, because that happens a lot more often. So they're all up on my channel. If you haven't watched any of them, if you're interested, they are there. Everything is playlisted now as well, so you might want to go and check them out. And also if you feel like it and you feel that it could help somebody else who you know, please share my videos as well. And I'm going to wish you all the best, Virgo, and hopefully see you again soon. Remember to be kind to yourself and to anybody else who you can. Like I said, hopefully see you soon. Take care.